Hi friends, my name is Kendra and today I'm going to be telling you about the one change that I made in my life that has completely changed me. And I'm not saying this is for everyone. Everyone may have their own thing, but for me this was just the thing that kind of kick-started me to realize and to stick with other changes in my life. I've been kind of hesitant to share this with others, but I have been sober for over a year now, and no shame to anyone who drinks. And again, like, you could have your own thing. There could be that one thing. It could be something different in your life, but these are some things that I realized. So maybe you could identify that area in your life through my experience of what I experienced quitting drinking. So for me, looking back, my relationship with alcohol, it was not a good relationship with alcohol. I grew up around alcohol. It was just like a norm for me and my family. I started drinking at a young age. I drank almost every day, and other than when I was pregnant, and I drank for every occasion. When I was happy, when I was sad, when I was celebrating something, would go for a drink, or if I got overwhelmed or upset about something, to kind of take the edge off, I'd get a drink. I was always drinking, at concerts, at parties, at weddings, at anywhere I went pretty much. I always drank everywhere. And it was kind of just became this thing that was expected of me, or I guess I expected myself, but I never got in trouble, or never legally or at work or anything. So I didn't think it was a problem. I didn't think I had a problem with drinking. And so where I kind of started and how I decided to stop was, first I did a dry January, and then I went back to drinking, my 30 days, or February 1st, started drinking again. My goal, I reached my goal. I got to that point, I started drinking again. And I started drinking again. I realized I felt like crap and was like, I don't know why I do this, but I kept doing it. So sometimes when you have that bad habit, it's like a habit and you just keep doing it, even knowing that it's not good for you. It's not making you any better, not bringing you closer to the person that you want to be, but it's a habit and you don't really know how to break it. So I stepped back into that habit. And then a few months later, a friend of mine, she kind of challenged me to stop drinking for a period of time. So together we both did that. And then once that time was up, once again, during that time I felt great. And I was like, why do I drink? This is I feel so good. And then I started drinking again, and then back in the cycle again of this, I'm drinking or not drinking, feeling great, start drinking again, and feel like crap. And then I realized, or several months later, I was on vacation with my son, my sister, my niece, and my mom, and my sister and I went down to the hotel bar and we had a couple of drinks. We weren't out late or anything, and we went back to the room, went to bed, woke up the next morning, and I just felt like crap. And I was like, man, I only had a couple of drinks. It's not worth this for me to feel this way. And now I'm not gonna fully enjoy this day of vacation because, and I think it was our last day of vacation, or my last day with them. And I live 8 hours away from my family. So it was I realized I'm missing out on this good quality time with my family because I had a couple drinks last night, not even a lot, and I feel like crap. So I just had that realization. I was like, this is just not worth it. So I'm gonna stop drinking. And I didn't put a time frame on it. I didn't, at this time, didn't say I'm gonna stop drinking for a month, or I'll start until this day, or anything like that. And again, this could be for anyone, for anything. If there's something in your life that you realize that you're doing, or that is holding you back from enjoying life, maybe think about it. Is this something that I need to change, an area that I need to change in my life? And what can I do to stop or quit? And so for me, I just identified it like this is an issue or an area that I want to change because I don't want to feel like crap. I don't want to miss out on this good time with my family. I want to be fully present. So I identified it, and that was my why. I think that's big too. You need to find your why. I was sick of feeling like crap. I was sick of missing out, and like also honestly letting my family down. I will say that there were a lot of times in my past that I let my family down because I was hungover. I didn't show up when I said I was going to. So those were other indicators in my life, like that was a problem. So I think just evaluating those things in your life of, is there anything in your life that's holding you back? Or, are you letting down the people that you love? Are you missing out on fully experiencing life and being fully present in your life? And what can you do to change that? So for me, it was removing alcohol, and it was hard. It took a lot of intention and discipline, and just waking up every single day, knowing I wasn't going to drink. And like, I will say like the first 30 days was pretty easy because I've done that. I did that before in the past. I made it very known to the people that I was around, to my friends. I think there were friends that I had that I don't really hang out with anymore, but that's okay. They weren't true friends. My good friends and a lot of my friends are still around that have been around for a long time. And they, if someone is not going to be in your life because you're trying to improve your life, I will tell you they're not a good friend. They're not a true friend. If they're going to judge you for you wanting to do better for yourself, they're not good for you. They're not worth your time. And so cut your losses and just keep moving on. If anything, they're probably going to continue to do harm in your life. So I just made it very known to my friends and like had that conversation with them. And my friends, I was really kind of surprised at how interested they were in why and how supportive they were with me in the journey. And when I did hang out with them, even the ones that I did drink with from time to time, like they didn't drink when I was around at first, and I didn't ever feel like uncomfortable around other people drinking or being in the atmosphere like at a bar or any of that, but it definitely helped for me to stay away from those places. So I will say at the beginning of this process, I got rid of anything that would create the temptation for me to drink. So I obviously didn't have any alcohol in my house. I dumped anything that I had left. I stayed away from bars. I made it very clear to my friends and family that I wasn't drinking, and I just tried to find other things. I made it a point to for a while I was like finding like mocktails or different things to drink at home to try and like replace my daily habit of having an alcoholic beverage, a glass of wine or something. And a lot of times actually I would just drink like grape juice because it's very similar to wine, and it just was like kind of my treat at the end of the day. If I was, instead of getting a glass of wine, I got a glass of grape juice, and that kind of that satisfied that urge, I guess. So yeah, find something to replace whatever it is, this habit or the thing. So you remove it, replace something with it, so you don't go back to that, or you're not as tempted to go back to that. And prepare yourself for things. So I remember like the first wedding that I went to, it was my cousin's wedding, and I was really nervous actually because I told a lot of my immediate family that I wasn't drinking anymore, that I made this choice. My extended family, I hadn't told them, and everyone drinks at weddings, at parties, everything. My family, there's always alcohol around. And it wasn't so much of like the temptation that I was nervous about. I think it was more or less like the judgment that I felt nervous about. And I was surprised actually by it. It's so crazy sometimes how we create these stories in our head about how other people are going to react. And really, y'all, it doesn't matter what other people's opinion is. It doesn't matter what they think of you. All that matters is what you think of you, because you're the one that has to deal with you every day. So, but my family was very like, I don't even actually know if they realized or noticed that I wasn't drinking at the wedding, and I still had a great time at the wedding. And I didn't feel like crap. Well, actually, I was surprised. I did feel pretty tired the next day. Like, so that was, it was interesting to see, because I thought, you know, every other wedding that I went to the next day, I felt really tired and like hungover. And I wasn't hungover, but I was definitely like tired and kind of sore because like dancing, I guess, I don't know. But I still had a good time. I had a great time, and I could do it sober. And so that was kind of my first experience of being around people and doing things sober. I went to concerts, and I like realized how, like, I was nervous at first because I'm like, am I gonna be able to still like enjoy the concert being sober? And it was more fun being sober. Like, I remembered the whole thing, and I didn't wake up feeling like crap the next day. And like, so I just all of the things that I did and continued to do, I didn't change anything in my life other than removing the alcohol and replacing with something else, and just kind of planning ahead, like knowing like I'm not gonna drink, or alcohol, like, and if I have the urge, like I'll get like an NA beer if I'm going out to dinner with people that are drinking, so I just kind of don't feel like I'm missing out, or it replaces the alcohol. And I just continued to stick with what I felt I needed, what I wanted to do. And I didn't let anyone's opinion or thoughts of me change that, because I knew how I felt every day. And I knew that alcohol for me wasn't serving me. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. Like, what other areas in my life aren't like that I'm doing that's not serving me? And so even like the alcohol, I realized it was kind of it branched into other areas, I guess, like my finances and my health. And so then it helped me to focus on some of those things. And my relationships, and I have better relationships with people, and my son. It's being able to be more present with him and enjoy my time with him. So it's, for me, alcohol has changed my life. Whether you're thinking about quitting drinking or something else in your life that you feel like is holding you back, maybe take a look at it and how it's impacting your life. Maybe try to stop or quit for a period of time and examine that in your life and decide if it's something worth continuing, and if it's serving you, and maybe it's worth removing completely from your life. So I hope you found some value in this video. If there's something else you want to hear more about with my life that I've mentioned, put it in the comments. Like and subscribe, please, and let me know what you want to hear about, and I'll create some videos on what interests you. Thank you.